starting us off.
Yeah.
We'll try not to giggle
Three,
too much.
2, 1. Hi, this is Brett Ridgway, and I'm here with my good friend
Brian Hain.
And we want to tell you about a new training coming up that we're really excited about. On Thursday, January the 21st, from about 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or however long it takes, we're going to do an intensive showing you how we do our marketing planning for all of our companies.
Yeah,
This is something we've never done before, and I don't know that anybody's ever done this, frankly.
well, we've done the planning. We've never showed people how we do all the
Right.
planning. And what's interesting is we actually have 5 different brands that we're going to be talking about. And our companies, we have service companies as well as we have actual product brands selling membership sites as well as selling actual, hard one-time cost products. And so each of those has a little bit of a different strategy. There are some marketing strategies that will work across all those different styles of products and styles of services, but then there are also some very specific techniques you want to use if you're doing a service company or if you're doing a specific product or if you're doing a recurring membership.
Now keep in mind that our brands are aimed at the author, speaker, information marketer segment of the industry. So all of them overlap in some way, so that's why we have these different brands, but each has its own marketing that needs to take place. And so when we do this intensive session on the 21st of January, we're going to talk about these 5 brands: Speaker Fulfillment Services, Disc Delivered, Red Oak Cart, Author 101 Online, and Info Marketing Training.
Right. Well, we're where you are right now.
Right. So we're going to talk about, we'll give you an overview of what all these businesses do, and like Brian said, whether they're a one-time thing or a recurring model or whatever it may be.
Or service, which is a very, selling a service is a lot trickier because you don't have something you're selling right then. It takes sometimes a lot of phone or in-person communication, so it's a completely different style of marketing. But we're going to be covering all the different ways we market, which what's really cool is we're going to be talking about all the different strategies that we use, whether it be pay-per-click, whether it be a program called 30X, which we learned from Armin Morin, whether it be just list building, whether it be how to use a YouTube channel properly, whether it be social media strategies. We're going to be talking about all the different things that we do for the different brands. And what's really cool is all these different strategies really can apply to you in whatever industry you are and whatever type of market you're selling your products to already.
So we're going to kind of let you look over our shoulders as we go through the entire planning process for these 5 brands. So we'll talk about the current businesses. We'll talk about what we're thinking about doing, not only what have we done in 2015 and before for the various brands, but also our actual live kind of brainstorming on the fly before you, what we're going to do for all these brands in 2016 and what we're thinking about doing. Now keep in mind, we're talking about 5 brands. You may have one brand you're dealing with, but you can still learn a lot here that you'll be able to apply to your situation, because every brand is going to deal with time constraints, money constraints, and resource constraints, manpower and all that. So we'll be talking about certainly how we're going to allocate our resources to the various marketing efforts. But like Brian said, there's so many things involved in marketing the various brands, whether it's pay-per-click, social media, the 30X that he mentioned, list building in general. We're going to talk about our YouTube strategies we're going to employ. We're going to talk about webinars that we're probably going to do, pre-recorded and live webinars.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about how do we get guest webinar slots to where we go speak on other people's lists. We may even be talking about how we speak from stage. We're going to be talking about all those things, but as Brett pointed out, we're going to be talking about how do we prioritize these different strategies, because we do have a finite amount of money to spend on marketing. We have a finite amount of time, more so than anything else, between us and our team. And it doesn't really matter whether you're a one-person outfit or whether you have 100 people working for you, you're still going to have resource constraints. And so the trick is, how do you prioritize? And you have to balance between really capitalizing on the low-hanging fruit, which is important to do, but also how do you actually maximize for the long-term health of your business? Because if all you ever do is go after low-hanging fruit, which is a popular buzz phrase for a lot of marketers out there, and it's great, you should pay attention to low-hanging fruit, but if that's all you ever did, you starve out yourself in just a matter of a few months or even a few years, because you wouldn't be doing the things you need to really have that sustained long-term health.
I mean, you got to remember that marketing is a building process. And so the things that we'll be talking about when you're looking over our shoulder are things that we're going to be doing over the course of the entire year.
Right.
It's continually putting more building blocks in place, continue to build, 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 and it's a never-ending process.
Right.
I mean, you're never done with it, really.
And some of the strategies are, as Brett said, they're kind of the low-hanging fruit of things that could bring us money right now. But then some of them are, hey, we're putting in place new systems to capitalize on our SEO. We're putting out new blog posts. We're putting out new videos. All these things which may not have immediate impact, but they're going to have that impact over the long term. And we're going to be analyzing which ones and how do we adjust our priorities based upon what we're trying to achieve. And so you'll get to hear us dialogue that. Then the really cool thing is the webinar doesn't just end when the 21st is over, because we're actually going to do 3 follow-up webinars over the course of 2016. So you'll actually come back on, don't worry, there's no additional charge for these. You'll actually get to come back in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter and get to see us report back on what things are working well and how are we adjusting our plan.
You mean plans don't go to a plan all the time?
No, nothing, it does not always go according to plan. And so, you know, you should be able to adjust on the fly. The other thing that can happen is a new opportunity may present itself. And you don't want to just say, oh, I'm not going to do that new opportunity. It wasn't part of my plan that I set up 6 months ago. So how do you adjust for new opportunities? How do you adjust for new circumstances, whatever that may be? And so we're going to actually show you throughout the year how we actually do that and what you take into account and how you think about those different things. So
now, another thing we're going to talk about is not just try to market to get new customers, but we think it's very important to think about customer retention. What are you doing for those clients that you already have? And so we'll spend some time talking about offline strategies and other things that we're going to do with our current customer bases to keep them happy and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a great session. I don't think it's something that anybody's ever done before. That you look at live at their brainstorming. No. So we'll be kind of laying the curtains open there, you know, bearing, you know, what we're doing.
We've been a member of a lot of different coaching programs, and I have to say I don't even know of a lot of different people who do intense planning sessions like this. And so if you haven't done this already for your own business, you really should, because the best thing you can do for your business is put in place a plan and then execute that plan, and that's going to give you the best opportunity for success. So come and join us on January 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. And don't worry, if you can't make that exact time, we're going to also record the call and you'll have lifetime access to watch it later. So if we go too fast, because sometimes when we get caught up brainstorming, we can really just get cranking. Don't worry, we'll have it recorded so you can actually come back and watch it later too. And you can even use it for future years and how you do the planning. Because planning, even though some of the strategy and techniques will change over time, and you should always be updating yourself on those, how you plan something, it'll change a little bit, but not a tremendous amount. And so if you can learn to do it right and learn to implement that plan over time, it'll really serve you well. So hopefully you'd like to join us. If so, just scroll down below, click the Add to Cart button, and it is going to be $197 one time, no recurring fees, and that will, you'll be able to attend live the webinar that we're doing on January 21st. You can ask questions, of course, during the webinar, and once again there will be 3 follow-up webinars, dates to be determined later, where we'll actually be doing follow-ups on how the plan is going. So once again, just
Marketing Intensive, January 21st, 10 to 2. Please join us. We're looking forward to it very much. Thank you.
Oh, that's pretty good. What do you think?